Oh, did you know there's a model magic book for sale, which costs £3.95? Models are as old as mankind itself, and that's remarkably well documented. Think of the ancient Egyptians and their superb models. Think of the ships that were built in the Middle Ages from models because the shipwrights couldn't read a drawing. And look at the modern power stations and generating plants and refineries, all made from models because it's not possible to build them any other way. And of course, models excite old and young, from the miniatures, the minute miniatures like jewelries, to monsters, vast monsters flying through the air. So why not join me in our voyage through the world of models? What better place to start being bewitched by the magic than at the London Toy and Model Museum? It's the brainchild of publisher Alan Levy, who has made use of his great love of toys and models to create a rare and unusually complete collection open to all of us. Very few of us have been able to own such a garden railway. Even fewer have been able to build it and make it pay. Stanley Beeson, Britain's finest sculptor in metals, has been able to.
Well, it's a peculiar business, isn't it, really, when you think about it? To make a living at making this sort of stuff. I mean, if I was born 200 years ago, what should I have been doing?
You would have been called Benvenuto Cellini, would have made sword sellers.
Oh, well, that's a point, yes. Yeah. Well, come to think of it, I've done plenty of other things besides modelling, trains, engines, you know. My first models commercially that were really paying was Pickford vans that they used to put in the shops, in the shop windows, you know, Pickford's removals.
Yes.
And I also did a lot of work for inventors. Crazy ideas. Of course, when the inventor invents something, it never works, and he doesn't pay you because it doesn't work. Did loss.
What scale do you think this engine is? You can hold it in one hand.
I haven't gone below 4. I haven't gone below 4 millimetres, because unfortunately a 4 millimetre engine, although it's smaller, it's half the size of a gauge. People expect to pay half the price.
Sadly enough, pictures like this are now only possible in model form, unless of course you visit the Cryche Tramway Museum or Blackpool, where tram cars still clank lumberingly along our modern streets. I've often wondered what a tram really is. Would one call it a train or a road vehicle?
Well, of course, they fall, Bob, in between the two. They certainly run on rails, but they clearly ran in the road as well. So to be absolutely correct, one should say they are a form of road transport similar to a bus, rather than a train, which runs on a private right-of-way.
Phil Greeno, who designs, builds and races these cars, is teaching.
That's the battery for the radio control. It has a receiver, 2 servos, operating the steering and a throttle and brakes.
You don't switch it on, simply plug it in, do you?
Yes, to switch it on, this is a transmitter. You switch the transmitter on.
That's first.
That's first.
All right, 1 minute to count down.
Well, these boats are called Marbleheads because they're built to the Marblehead restricted rule, and it was thought up by an American who was fed up with very complicated full-size formulae, and one evening when he was getting a bit frustrated in his Model Yacht Club meeting, he went out to his car, measured the back seat, and it happened to be 50 inches long, so the class was 50 inches long.